Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With ORRETT Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, ORRETT.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 17th day of November 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, and some of the roads are wet this morning as well, we urge you to please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who's celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a happy belated birthday. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. And very quickly, I'm going to give some birthday shout-outs. I'm going to abbreviate my opening remarks this morning because we have some very important guests in the studio, and we have a very important topic to talk about as well. So we see where Mr. Renton Scott of Cayman Brac celebrating his birthday today, and happy birthday greetings are coming from loving family, and also your sister Venice Johnson, who is in Grand Cayman. I also want to give a big birthday shout out to my sister Judith McFeel. That will be a belated birthday shout out. She celebrated her birthday yesterday, and for those of you who don't recognize her name by Judith, we call her Take. So she celebrated her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday greetings coming from all of the family as well. And cyclist Mr. Edward Harper celebrating his birthday today, so we want to wish him a happy birthday as well. So folks, with that, we are going to be talking about Child Safeguarding Week 2025, and I will just give you a snippet of a press release that was issued. The Department of Children and Family Services, in partnership with the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, invites the public to take part in the Cayman Islands' first ever Child Safeguarding Week, taking place from November the 17th, that is today, to the 21st, under the theme, Every Child Safe, Every Word Heard. So, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the Director of Children and Family Services, Ms. Paulinda Mendoza-Williams. And here's a quote that was given by her as well. She said, child safeguarding is everyone's responsibility. This week is about empowering children, families, and communities with the knowledge and tools they need to keep every child safe. By working together, we can build a culture of care, vigilance, and accountability. And you will be hearing more from her. Also in the studio with me is the Honorable Minister for Social Development and Innovation, Honorable Isaac Rankine. And here is a quote attributed to him as well. And I quote, "This marks a historic first for the Cayman Islands, a unified national effort focused solely on safeguarding our children. We invite every organization, every school, and every community partner to be part of this mission to ensure every child is safe and every voice is heard." Minister and Director, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good morning to the listening public.
Yeah, OC, good morning. Thanks for having me back again. And good morning to the listening public and Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman.
Okay, Minister, I'm going to let you keep the mic.
Okay. Thank you, OC. OC, I'm actually extremely grateful that you allowed us to come on here this morning to speak about that milestone event of Child Safeguarding Week. You've already given the dates, November 17th to 21st, and as the Minister for Social Development and Innovation and also the Minister for Youth, this incredible initiative that the Director has worked on with her team is close to many of our hearts. And you know that safeguarding our children is not only a social responsibility or priority. Mm-hmm. It is also a national responsibility as well. And but as the Director has put in so much time and effort, I want her to be heard as well. So I'll ask her just give a broad overview of how we got to this point where we are now.
Certainly.
Thank you, Minister, and good morning again. Before I get into it, I just want to take the opportunity to say a very big thank you to my team down at DCFS, because without them, we would not have gotten this initiative off the ground. So as you indicated, Mr. OC, this week is the launch of National Child Safeguarding Week, and this has come about. Normally, November the 20th is celebrated as Universal Day of the Child. Mm-hmm. And for the last 4 to 5 years, we have engaged in celebrating Universal Day of the Child with various events. But we sat down and we thought, how can we be more impactful as an organization and a ministry to speak to how do we safeguard our children and what messages we want to get out there? How do we engage with the public and the stakeholders at large? So we said, let us look at in October, globally, there is an International Child Safeguarding Week, but we here in Cayman celebrate October's Older Person Month. And we did not want to have competing initiatives because, of course, we have to honor our seniors, and that has been one of the staple brand events for us as a department and a country. So we looked at November and said, yes, this is something that we need to highlight, and we will launch our National Child Safeguarding Week during the week of when Universal Day of the Child is celebrated globally. And as you indicated, this year's theme is Every Child Safe, Every Voice Heard. And I think, as the Minister said, this highlights the commitment of the Cayman Islands government, the CIG, Department of Children and Family Services, our stakeholder partners, both public and private, as well as the community. And this week, we are partnering with various stakeholders. We have asked them to share with us the different initiatives that they want to launch to acknowledge the week, to speak to how do we protect our children, how do we safeguard our children, how do we ensure that they're developing in a space that will be a bigger and brighter future for them. So we have certainly engaged with some of our key partners, i.e., the schools, both private and public, and we have asked them to celebrate the 21st, which is Friday, to have a dress down day where everyone wears a blue top in acknowledgement of National Child Safeguarding Week, and of course just to take pictures to highlight the collectiveness, the collaboration, and acknowledging that every child safe, every voice heard is what we are aiming for as a country and ensuring that our children are safeguarded. We have also engaged with them to do a logo competition. So what we're hoping for is that particularly the high schools is who we aimed at, for the schools to launch the logo competition. They choose their preferred winner and then send it on to DCFS, and then we'll make a decision as to the overall winner of the logo competition, and we will use this logo going forward. So this is not a one-time event. We will be launching this as another brand event for the department, for the ministry, and the government as a whole, because it is an important conversation. It is about the future of this country. And I say the future, but I also want to say the present of this country. So as we embark on something, I've said to the team that we started this on faith and prayer. And I must say we have had stakeholders that have come on board at very short notice to be involved. Just last week, when was I on? We have Boys to Men. We have Dr. Wilkes. Yes. Dr. Wilkes, her youth consortium organization. We have various other organizations out there. Inclusion came on. They should have been on, but unfortunately they didn't make it. And as I said, the schools are, of course, our key partners. RCIPS, who we work closely with in the multi-agency safeguarding hub. They were on with us as well last week, speaking about how that collaborative working engagement is going and how we continue to work to enhance safeguarding our children. And the difference between when we talk about, historically we talked about child protection, but we have expanded it because safeguarding our children, it speaks to preventing the harm, protecting their welfare, and certainly promoting their development. So it's a holistic and comprehensive approach when we speak to that. Just to add that DCFS is the lead department in child safeguarding. We have a robust legislation, the Children's Act 2012 revision, and I know that we did some revised work in 2024, so it should be now the 2024 Revision Act. And in that, again, it highlights the role of the department, the role of how we work with other organizations, how we safeguard our children, and also it speaks to mandatory reporting. I do believe, I am 100% sure, but I don't know the exact details. We have increased the fine or the custodial penalty for highlighted mandatory reporters. So if persons are aware or they suspect or it's alleged and that information has come to them, particularly the listing of professionals that should be doing mandatory reporting, if this is not done, they certainly can be taken to court for not engaging in what is legal requirement for them.
Okay, so Minister, with this being Can's first ever Safeguarding Week, from your ministry's perspective, why was it so important to launch this national initiative now? And can you also speak to the, sorry, just give me a second here. You want okay, we're going to, I'll pose the question and then we'll take the break after that. So we'd also like you to share with us how your ministry is working to enhance child safeguarding, especially through legislative changes and policy reform. So we're going to go to the commercial break. That'll give you an opportunity to prepare your response to that as well, folks. We're talking about Child Safeguarding Week here in the Cayman Islands, the first ever Safeguarding Week taking place from today, the 17th, until the 21st. The conversation taking place here in the studio and for the record is with the Director of Children and Family Services, Ms. Paulinda Mendoza-Williams, and Minister, the Honorable Isaac Rankine. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The Bay Islands of the northern shores of Honduras, including Utila, Rotan, and Guanaja or Panaca, along with the islets of Elaine, Barbarat, and Marat, saw a rather rapid and dramatic settlement of Caymanians following emancipation in the Cayman Islands. By 1844, so many Caymanians were arriving that disagreements were constant. Only 5 years prior, in 1839, a contingent of convicts and soldiers representing Honduran interests were sent to Port Royal, Rotan, to establish Honduran sovereignty over the migrant Caymanians. The action was met with a swift response by Superintendent Colonel Alexander MacDonald from Belize, who sailed on the HMS Rover to Rotan. After sending the convicts and soldiers back, he hoisted the Union Jack after removing the flag of the Central American Federation. Tensions appeared to also arise between the settlers themselves, and around 1850, a public surveyor had to be appointed to measure off land for the newly arrived stakeholders.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets, sizzling hot and moving. Get your tickets now. Grand prize $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes. Sellers prizes up to $5,000. Get your $25 ticket from Rotary Central members. Rotary ticket sellers across Cayman. Eventpro.ky. Funky Tangs, Shudden Road. Rotarian Annie Rose Scott in Cayman Brack. A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Georgetown. And other locations. Rotary Central Cayman Islands. Supporting more than 70 projects across our community, across the Cayman Islands. The 30th Annual Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, Saturday, November 29. Jamming with Sugar Daddy, Los Tropicanos, and musical crew at Salty's Harbor Grill, Red Bay. Your ticket, your chance through Rotary Central.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
Blow family, this is for you. The latest iPhone is here and you're getting the sweetest deal ever. The iPhone 17 at Apple Store prices. No need to trouble the family abroad or stress about bringing a phone through customs. Simply get a Flowmania 1 gig and get the new iPhone 17 Pro Max at $29 per month with a down payment of $299. Only on Cayman's largest 5G network. Terms and conditions apply.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about Child Safeguarding Week here in the Cayman Islands. That conversation is taking place with the Director of Children and Family Services, Ms. Paulinda Mendoza-Williams, and also in the studio with us, the Honorable Isaac Rankine, who is the Minister for Social Development and Innovation, as well as the Minister for Youth as well. So before we went to the break, we were asking the Minister, with this being the first ever Child Safeguarding Week, to get his ministry's perspective on why it is so important to launch this national initiative now, and also to get his comments on what work is being done to enhance child safeguarding, especially through legislative changes and policy reforms as well. Minister.
OC, thank you very much again. I just want to go back over the theme as well before we answer that. It says every child safe, every voice heard. And that is the mission of this whole Child Safeguarding Week. Means that every child in our country must feel protected, valued, and supported. And that when they speak, we give them, we need to find the time to listen. But it's not just about safeguarding, just about our ministry. It's on such a wider construct in terms of it, government, schools, NPOs, communities, parents, and very importantly, the young people themselves. All of them working together. But from our minister's perspective, we'll see under our ministry, we are definitely committed to strengthening the systems and also the structures and protecting the children. And that's going to be done through updated legislation. And you mentioned, it was mentioned earlier by the director of the Children's Amendment Act, which improves the safeguarding standards. It creates a commissioner for children and young people, and it also strengthens the oversight of residential homes. But we are continuously reviewing and modernizing all of those laws, the reporting procedures, which the director spoke about earlier, and the safeguarding frameworks to ensure that they meet today's needs. Right? We have to stay on top of it. And as the Minister for Social Development and also for Youth, I want the young people to know that their safety and their well-being and the voice does matter. And again, safeguarding is a youth issue. It's just as much social development one as well too. There are a number of other acts that we are also modernizing, and some of those I'll just touch on briefly while it doesn't have anything to do with this particular event, but the Children Amendment Act.
Okay.
The Adoption Act, Youth Justice Act Review, Maintenance and Start of Children Updates. So we're working on a number of different packages that we hope will bring and modernize them, bring them to the Parliament in order to modernize the whole of those different acts that relates to children. The government, and I'm speaking on behalf of the government, safeguarding our children means that we need to ensure that the laws and the protections keep pace, as we have to ensure, as the director said, keep it modern. And we've been driving this forward, and we'll definitely keep on with the most.
Okay, Ms. Paulinda, anything you want to add to that?
Certainly, and just to highlight that the department is quite a diverse and dynamic department, because when we talk about child safeguarding, it is just not about the piece that deals with child abuse or neglect. The minister spoke to the modernizing of the Adoptions Act, as well as our Youth Justice Act. And all of those legislations sit with the department. So those are the legislative frameworks that guide the work of the department. So we are always looking forward to using those frameworks to promote and support our practice and guide our practice as the practitioners. I want to take the opportunity to also say training is very important, not just for our department because of the work we do and our social workers, but it's also important for the community, all key stakeholders, public and private, to be keep abreast of these legislation, but also keep abreast of what child safeguarding is about. How does it impact your organization? Or just be knowledgeable. If you don't know something, DCFS is there to help guide and support and assist various organizations who work closely with children. We will come out and do presentations on child safeguarding, who we are, mandatory reporting, speak to how we work collaboratively at the MASH unit. So these are pieces that are always ongoing for us as we deliver child safeguarding initiatives to our community. I want to also take this opportunity to highlight the key event that DCFS is spearheading and the ministry this week. So we're also having our first child safeguarding symposium. And this is an invite-only event. I know a lot of people have been hearing about this, and I'm getting a lot of requests, but we are quite limited with number. I think we're to capacity right now, and we have engaged, again, key stakeholders, partner agencies that work with us, because, again, this is about enhancing practice, understanding trends, seeing how we can work better collaboratively. So that will be taking place on Friday the 21st. And we are very excited. It's our first ever symposium in this magnitude. And we have a keynote speaker from Jamaica, Miss Diane Harrison. She is the equivalent to what the UK calls a children's commissioner. So she is the Office of the Children's Advocate in Jamaica. And we're really excited to have her come and share. She is an attorney by profession, but has been in the role for now, I want to say, over 15 years, I think it is. But again, extensive knowledge on legislative frameworks, working and ensuring that the voice of children are heard, because that's what the Children's Commissioner is about. It's listening to our children when they have complaints against the likes of. So we're not shying away from us as organizations leading safeguarding, but there are times where we may not get it right, or children may feel we have not done them justice. So these are things, as the minister said, in our new 2024 legislation, there is the guidance for a children's commissioner in the Cayman Islands. So we're looking forward. We have the keynote speaker, and then we will have two panel discussions. One, the first panel is about breaking the cycle of abuse, and the other one we thought was quite fitting because we work with them, but we really don't hear from them a lot as to what their role is. We see it. And oftentimes criticize it, but we don't understand their processes and the dynamics of their work. And that is a panel that is with the judiciary and the police. So we have persons out of DPP's office, the Solicitor General's office, who supports us in our applications for child safeguarding. The Cayman Islands Bar Association is there. And we also have Chief Magistrate Hernandez, who will be on that panel.
Excellent. We're going to go to our 8 o'clock news. I just want to say to our listening and viewing audience that the director and the minister, they will remain with us after the 8 o'clock news. They will be here until 8:30 as well. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned because there's more to come as well. One of the questions that I will ask, I'll ask it now and then they can answer it later. Ms. Mendoza-Williams referred to an event taking place on Friday. Invite only, but my question would be whether or not any portions of it may be live streamed so that those persons who are unable to attend may be able to follow it up, as well. So don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is a minute after 8.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Government's affordable housing programs are discussed in Finance Committee.
Housing is not just a construction, it is a legacy, an equity, and a generation wealth.
The budgets for the administration of the existing and of the new affordable housing initiatives are growing from about $480,000 in 2025 to $1.1 million annually over the upcoming 2 financial years. The budget to administer the country's Build Your Own Property initiative is jumping from $20,000 this year to more than $340,000 annually in 2026 and 27. $1.5 million is earmarked in transfer payments for housing assistance, minor housing repairs, and other assistance over the next 2 years, despite an expected spend of more than $2 million in this year alone. Planning Minister, the Honorable J.E. Banks.
We're going to look at where we're going to be able to ramp up the home repairs. I can tell you that the money that we have for home repairs, we definitely will always have to come back for home repairs money. That is something that supplementaries will always have to be done. And we know that because we could probably put $10 million in the budget for home repairs and we will fly right through it. So in the future, it's streamlined a lot better.
And the equity investments for the National Housing Development Trust are growing from $5.5 million this year to $7 million next year and $8 million in 2027.
The home program supports the first-time Caymanian buyers through NHDT. We continue to build new homes, refurbishing existing stock, and open service lot. NHDT has 1,152 applications under active review since the 1st of May. 6 families at the Flamingo Point have received keys to their new homes.
Finance Committee is set to resume this morning at 9:30 a.m. at the House of Parliament. Make sure to tune into our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, to hear their proceedings live. The Cayman Heart Foundation hosts its 2025 recognition event.
We were celebrating the heart survivors and heart heroes, people that have gone through traumatic heart events and have done something special with their lives, as well as those that touch the lives of those with heart disease, whether it's through caring for them or whether it's through improving the system for the care of heart disease or advocating and raising awareness of heart disease in order that people take their heart health seriously.
Chair of the Cayman Heart Foundation, Andrew Vincent, says 8 people were honored as the 2025 Heart Heroes and Heart Disease Survivors. The event was one of many ways the organization is working to advance heart health, expand education and training, and pursue the Cayman Heart Foundation's goal of saving 100 lives across the Cayman Islands. 25.
Many people do not take their heart health seriously until such times as they're already seeing signs of ill health. And of course, that's too late. If I were to encourage people to do anything, it is to engage in their heart health at the earliest possible moment to stay healthy.
For more information about the Cayman Heart Foundation and the Saving 100 Lives initiative, you can visit caymanheartfoundation.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. The former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, has been sentenced to death by a tribunal in Dhaka after she was found guilty of ordering security forces to kill protesters. Sheikh Hasina dismissed the judgment as politically motivated. Bangladesh has urged India to extradite Sheikh Hasina following the guilty verdict. She fled there when she was ousted by a student-led popular uprising in August 2024. An explosion on a railway line in Poland used to deliver aid to Ukraine has been described by the country's prime minister as an unprecedented act of sabotage. He didn't attribute blame, but Poland has repeatedly accused Russia of waging a hybrid war. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has secured an important deal to obtain air defence hardware from France. He signed the agreement to acquire dozens of jet fighters and missile systems with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron at an airbase near Paris. Police in Nigeria say gunmen have abducted 25 students from a girls' school in the northwest. They said the attackers stormed the boarding school in Kebbi State using sophisticated weapons early in the morning. At least one staff member was killed. The UN humanitarian chief Tom Fletcher says his teams need urgent access to the devastated Sudanese city of El Fasher to help civilians still stranded there. Mr. Fletcher is on a visit to the Darfur region. That's the latest. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Attention students and parents, are you ready to explore incredible opportunities for your education? Visit the 2025 North American Boarding School Fair, Tuesday, November 18th at the Marriott Hotel from 6 to 8 p.m. This is your chance to meet with representatives from top boarding schools across the U.S. and Canada. Discover the right school for your future. Sign up today at bettywalker.com. That's BEDIWALKER.com. Don't miss the North American Boarding School Fair, Tuesday, November 18th at the Marriott Hotel.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate a lingering surface trough over the northwest Caribbean will support cloudiness and showers, which is expected to spread over the Cayman area over the next 24 hours. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today is calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 40% chance of late night showers and possible thunder, and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 8:34, low tide this afternoon at 2:36, and a high tide again tonight at 7:37. The sun will set this evening at 5:45 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:35. And the outlook is calling for a decrease in cloudiness and showers from tomorrow evening as the trough weakens as it moves further west of the Cayman area. Moderate to fresh northeasterly winds and moderate seas are expected by Wednesday morning as a high-pressure system is expected to build over the southeast United States. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere, until I attempted that switch kick, double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's see what's flowing on our traffic report. Steady traffic coming off of the Esley Tibbetts Highway. As we look to the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is bumper to bumper. Expect delays as you head on down to Georgetown. Slow moving traffic on Cool Road and heading east on Cool Road. Traffic is moving at a moderate pace. Moderate flow of traffic on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. And some steady traffic coming from the West Bay area heading towards the Georgetown area on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz. So expect some delays there. As we look to Industrial Park area, flowing at a moderate pace, and steady bit flowing traffic on Northstown Road in both directions. Halton Avenue, traffic is moving at a moderate pace and coming off of Bobby Thompson as well. And off of Agnes Way, a little steady traffic. Owen Roberts Drive, no issues there, as traffic flowing pretty good. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic report.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Starting January 1, 2026, the minimum wage in the Cayman Islands will increase to CI $8.75 per hour. This change is designed to ensure fair pay and to support workers across the islands. Whether you're an employee or an employer, it is important to understand how this adjustment affects you. Learn more about the new rate, how it's applied, and what it means for your workplace by visiting gov.ky/DLP or email minimumwage@gov.ky.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I re-engage with my guests in the studio, just a few more birthday shout-outs. We see here that Delorice Ebanks celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to Delorice Ebanks. Also, Miss Cheryl Miller celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to Miss Cheryl Miller. And Betty Christian also celebrating a birthday today as well. Happy birthday. So if you know anyone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us here on For the Record. And throughout the show, we will give them a shout out as well. Meanwhile, we are talking about Child Safeguarding Week here in the Cayman Islands, the first ever celebration of child safeguarding in the studio. My pleasure to have with me, and should I declare an interest? Family. Miss Paulinda Mendoza-Williams, who is the Director of Children and Family Services, and the Honorable Isaac Rankine, Minister as well. So the event, invite only, but will you be able to share anything with the public in terms of them being able to watch?
So we're working on something. Our comms person, Ms. Holly, who has been tremendous support during this planning phase. We're working on something, even if it's snippets and pictures or quotes. So yes, hopefully. But as we said, this is our first try at this. So all of these things, when we debrief, will be taken on board. So I can only see this event being bigger and better, and certainly promoting what we're doing here in the Cayman Islands for child safeguarding.
And your keynote speaker, how were you able to pull off that coup in order to get her?
So the committee, we sat down and we really thought about, what it is that we wanted out of what was the purpose, and looking at the theme, every child safe, every voice heard. And it's really highlighting that our children must be heard. Remember when we were young, we'd say, we were told children must be seen and not heard. So there's a time and a place for everything. I say it's still the same here. There are times where children should not be heard, but we want to encourage our children to let their voices be heard, especially when they feel that they are not, their voices are not being shared about what they need, and how we as a people and a community can ensure that we are listening to them to be able to give them what they need. But also, and I will say, because of our statistics of child abuse referrals, I want to say we are hearing their voice more. Unfortunately, that's not really how we want to hear their voice, but we're hearing their voice. So children are speaking out when they feel that, they've been wronged in some way, they've been hurt in some way by the adults around them, particularly the adults who they should be trusting. So we want to continue to encourage our children to share their voice, speak to what it is that they think, organizations need to be doing for them, what the government needs to be doing for them, what the community needs to be doing for them and with them. So it's very important. But back to your question. So yes, we had a list of different persons, both locally, because again, we have a lot of talent here that we can pull on to give us insights and look at what's happening not only in the Cayman vein of things, but in the Caribbean and global diaspora as well. And because we knew that the Children's Law did speak to a children's commissioner coming on board, as well as the Deputy Governor's Office taking lead on this as well. I had the opportunity, the time is going so fast, I think it was last year, to actually visit the UK and Guernsey, and part of the trip was to speak to the different areas of child safeguarding initiatives and frameworks that they have over there, and one of them was to meet with the Children's Commissioner of Guernsey. So we had that opportunity, and when I did some further research, we saw that Jamaica had quite the equivalent post, and we said, hey, let's see if we can get her. And sure enough, she said yes.
Great. Now, off air, during the commercial, the break for news, we were talking about the fact that the threats to child safety can come in so many forms as well. And if we could talk a little bit about because you've spoken about working with other government departments and everything, and we heard Minister Anglin speak to the fact that early childhood education was one of the things that he would be focusing on, and he knew about the challenges that families were facing in terms of financing early childhood and what the government was putting forward. I think it also may have been in response to a question, a PQ that or suggestion made, I don't think it was a private member's motion, by the MP for Red Bay.
I think it was a question in Finance Committee.
Yeah, in Finance Committee in relation to that as well. And can you speak to how the educational system and access to it can be, or not having access to it can be a threat to child safety?
So, again, this is when we're talking about certainly having preventative arms of safeguarding our children. And absolutely, parents have to work. And, we want to know that we're leaving our children in safe spaces where they're cared for, where they're protected, where their development is certainly being placed as a priority. So definitely happy to hear that the Education Ministry and ministers supporting enhancing that service for children, for our young children as they start to approach school age, because we do have people who, when we talk about, and I shared this on the last show that I was on, I actually heard my colleague speak about it takes a village to raise a child. And he said someone had said to him, but sometimes the villagers are not always very good at taking care of children. So whilst we certainly believe in that ethos, definitely having spaces where our children can be protected, where parents don't have to worry that I have to go out to work, but I'm leaving my child with someone who I really don't know too much of, they're by themselves, etc. But putting them in spaces where, of course, you have professionals who are also mandated reporters to be able to care for them. And I speak on the arm of prevention because the goal of the department, when we ask, and funny enough, we're in that period of budget, and when we talk about the work that we do, DCFS and our role in safeguarding is to be more on a preventative arm. We don't want to know that the numbers for child abuse and neglect continue to rise. We want to be able to do the preventative, the proactive services to support families, to support our children, and support the community, and in ensuring that we are keeping our children safe.
Minister?
OC, as you said, we are not living in came out of yesteryear, where we had an extended family that could keep an eye on the kids when one of the parents had to go to work. We're not living at, those threats come from all over the place. And it is because of some of the legislative amendments that we have done, the government has done, that reflects the core belief that every child deserves safety, dignity, stability, and a fair start at life. But I also want to emphasize that through the Department of Financial Assistance, that's part of the safety net to support those kids. And that support goes to Caymanians and caregivers of Caymanian children. I just want to make that clear because there's this notion that DFA don't support Caymanians. The only people they support are Caymanian and the Caymanian children through caregivers. So we have to ensure that those kind of resources are also directed to provide the support that we need, and government is obligated to provide it to those who need it. But also, I know we run out of time, but
Okay. Still have about 8 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But supporting the children is multi-agencies, is different ministries in the government, the schools, the NPOs, our communities, but also some of those NPOs are like NCVO. They do a good job in our community. Rehoboth, the Cayman Islands Crisis Center. These are just some of those that play such an important role in child safeguarding. Will we get it right and perfect? No. It has to be a work in progress. It's a living document of what we need to do to ensure that we stay current with the needs of our children.
Ms. Paulinda?
I would add to that, you did ask the minister about other things that the ministry is doing or could be doing. So again, we did start this journey a few years ago of looking at a national child safeguarding policy. And I do believe that it's something that we need to revisit, whether it is through our ministry or it is through the Child Safeguarding Board, because without national child safeguarding standards, we have people doing different things or interpreting different ways of what it means to safeguard children. So again, as we continue to grow in this area and to enhance the systems, I do believe that next steps is certainly looking at a national child safeguarding policy and some groundwork. I had the opportunity to work closely with consultants out of the FCO's office. They paid for the consultants to come down to be able to do those things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, we still have about 6 minutes left to go. We want to remind our listening and viewing audience of the week, what it entails, and the highlights of the week as well.
So again, as I spoke to earlier, we have asked stakeholder organizations, both public and private, to send us what initiatives that they're planning. So from hosting various awareness workshops, sharing child safeguarding information with their customers, displaying posters or social media posts, certainly wearing the blue. So whilst we asked the school to engage, but I'll take this forum to ask the community to wear blue on the 21st of November, this Friday. Wear blue. Corporate MPOs, church organizations, everyone, wear a blue top, send us pictures, put on your social media pages saying that hashtag child safeguarding is everybody's business. I think that is one of the ways that we certainly can highlight that we are promoting every child safe, every voice heard.
And the support from the community.
Absolutely. And every effort, big and small, certainly strengthens us as a Cayman Islands community, getting that message out and protecting our children. I also want to share that we often don't speak about our our faith-based organization, but churches play a vital role in safeguarding our children. They have their youth groups. Children come to church. The various outreach groups are going into homes. I say to you, certainly engage with the department in safeguarding training, understanding the legislation, the role that you play, because pastors and church organizations are listed in that mandatory reporting. But also being there to support families through difficult times, creating spaces where children are safe. So I certainly encourage our churches and faith-based organizations to come on board and be a part of this initiative. It is not going away. We have to certainly step up and protect our children. One of the African proverbs, again going back to it takes a village to raise a child, but there's a follow-on to that. If the village does not take care of the child, the child will burn down that village.
Yes.
And we do not want that. Cayman Islands is a unique, a wonderful place to live. People are coming from all over the world to come here and live. And we want them to understand our laws, what is required when it comes to child safeguarding, but we want all hands on deck in protecting our children. Social media, I know that we were talking about some of the issues, some of the things that impact child safeguarding and child abuse. While social media is a good thing, and the whole having these devices at your fingertip for learning, and they also create spaces that are unsafe for our children. And we have to amp up how we continually protect our children, because they're not going to stop using these. I'm sorry. I know it's something that we keep talking about and trying to regulate, but they're not going to stop using their iPads, their phones, being on games. But it's how we put frameworks in place to support them and help them not be groomed and exploited by those persons out there that mean them harm.
Let them know the dangers. Minister, some final comments from you?
Well, I think the director touched on some of this, but this week aligns with a couple of things, other international days. Like the November 18th is UN World Day for Prevention of and Healing from Child Sexual Exploitation, Abuse and Violence. The 19th is World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse, and the 20th is World Children Day. So this week was very thoughtfully put together to align with all of those. And but as I wrap up, OC, I want to sincerely thank Miss Paulinda and the leadership and her staff, especially Miss Paulinda.
They're stalwarts.
For the work that they've done, and all of the partner agencies for participating in this symposium, and also the media events. I also have to thank Inclusion Cayman and the Cayman Islands Youth Development Consortium, the many NPOs that contributing for these activities, and of course, very importantly, the children and youth who remain at the center of everything that we have to do. But in closing, OC, safeguarding our children is not just a one-week effort. It's an everyday commitment that we need to make. All of us need to make for our children. And when we protect our children, we protect the future of this country. And I want to encourage everyone listening today to join us and participate in any way you can to help us build a Cayman where every child is safe, every voice is heard, and every family is supported.
Yes.
Okay, and I want to thank you and your department, Ms. Paulinda, in terms of what you do, and Minister Rankine, your ministry as well, to help to keep our children safe here in the Cayman Islands, and for all of the good work that you do as well. Folks, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return on the next segment of For the Record, we will be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that has to do with road safety. So we will be talking about the National Road Safety Campaign. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
And just to let you know, a public service announcement, there's been a two-vehicle accident on the West Bay Road in the vicinity of Thai Orchid on the West Bay Road, so it's adding to some delays if you're coming from the West Bay area heading towards the Georgetown area. Traffic is, of course, backed up on the Esther Tibbetts Highway, and on the West Bay Road, traffic is steady heading towards the Georgetown area. So just to let you be aware of that.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Hear clunk and our car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I have my guests introduce themselves, I just want to point out those of you traveling from the West Bay area, there is a 2-vehicle accident somewhere in the vicinity of Thai Orchid Restaurant, and that may be delaying traffic somewhat. So if you're in that vicinity and traffic is moving slowly, that is the reason. So before we went to our break, I pointed out to you that we would be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is road safety. So we're going to be talking about the National Road Safety Campaign, and I'm going to have our guests introduce themselves, starting with the most attractive person in the room on my left.
Good morning, Mr. Conrad.
Good morning. How are you, my dear?
I'm Jodianne Powery. I'm the acting manager for the Media and Communications Unit, and I'm also a police sergeant.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mikhail Campbell, Public Relations Specialist with the RCIPS Media and Communications Unit.
Okay, and a new voice in the studio.
Yes, good morning. I'm Milo Dack. I'm with the Public Relations Unit in the Department of Communications, working with National Road Safety.
Okay, why don't you have you kick it off then?
So, I mean, this is a very kind of topical morning start, talking about the accidents on our roads. I wasn't actually supposed to be here. I was supposed to be our campaign manager in the Department of Communications, but unfortunately she had to step out, so I've taken her place. But yeah, so the Department of Communications, working with the Ministry of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, as well as the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, National Roads Authority and Department of Vehicle and Driver Licensing, has launched a year-long National Road Safety Campaign. And essentially we're working to change road behaviour and to encourage safer behaviour on our roads, to try and do our part in raising awareness about road safety through education, enforcement, engineering, and emergency services. Obviously, I'll let the more qualified guests over here talk more about their part in terms of enforcement and emergency response. But yeah, the campaign launched end of July, and it will run again until end of July 2026. And yeah, so we started with a big focus on kind of the split screen graphics across social media and out of home kind of advertising and promotions. And essentially it was the smart versus reckless, which you might have seen. And that was the kind of smart makes a certain decision and reckless makes another decision, with like a crashed car and a car getting home safely, etc. And we're ramping up the campaign as we move into the next few months. But I'll pass over to Mikhail and Jodianne over there to talk more about.
Ms. Jodianne?
Hello. So for us, from the perspective of road safety with the police, obviously making our roads safer is one of our main priorities as the police service. And how we intend to do that is through education and enforcement. Those are our legs on the National Road Safety Strategy. And so what we tend to do is we try to have education campaigns throughout the year, but we also do dedicated enforcement, a minimum per quarter. So we've done Operation Clyro 3 times so far, and we'll end the year with Operation Winter Guardian in the month of December.
Okay. Ms. Campbell, anything you want to
No, not too much. Just to say that in terms of our collaboration with the National Road Safety Campaign on the education side, so we've been working very closely with them on some of their initiatives, providing in terms of, data feedback on the material that they create to present to the public, because they have blog posts as well as the social media, and there's also some video content that they'll be doing. And what we also want to do, they've been assisting us with putting together some school visits to get into the schools to speak to students about road safety, and that will range from the younger students all the way up to high school. So it's the schools that have said that they wanted these presentations. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Okay, and we did see an announcement, I think it was last week, Cineco partnering with Inspire K-Man Training in targeting ages, young people age 17 to 20, even though I thought it should extend beyond that. And Inspire K-Man is offering, Inspire K-Man Training is offering a discounted rate for training on safety driving. I think normally it's $300 and something. They've taken like $60 off it as well. So initiatives, like that can only enhance the whole idea, of road safety. And I have heard one minister speak to the fact that what they want to also introduce in the schools again also is driver training in the schools.
Absolutely. I think that road safety is everybody's business. Cineco has recently started doing auto insurance, and so I think investing in road safety would only benefit the islands as a whole.
So can we talk about the themes, the road safety campaign themes, things like impaired driving, vulnerable road users, speeding as well. We know in terms of speeding that we continue to hear people talk about the fact that we need more police presence on the road. Police can't be anywhere, and can we talk about how we go about compensating for the fact that you can't have a police on every street monitoring, drivers who may be speeding or driving recklessly?
Absolutely. So I think it all boils down to personal accountability and having, a streamlined method of driving. So I'll give you an example of coming here this morning. There were persons trying to switch lanes in the roundabouts. There were persons that were trying to cut across 3 lanes at stoplights. There were persons that were driving through businesses and on the soft shoulder in order to avoid traffic. Based on what I saw this morning, if we all did what we were supposed to do, we would have significantly reduced the traffic on the road this morning. But then in addition to that, what you'll have is the inattention on our roadways. And the inattention then causes these minor accidents, and the minor accidents hold up the traffic even more.
Definitely.
So I think with that being said, I'll hand it over to Milo to talk about our themes. And
yeah, so as you mentioned, OC, we do have 6 kind of core themes that the campaign is tackling, and you mentioned a few of them, which are impaired driving, and that focuses not just on driving under the influence of alcohol, but also drugs. And we talk about vulnerable road users, and that's something that is kind of a term that may not be so familiar, but we want to kind of really reinforce that people like pedestrians and cyclists and motorbike users are vulnerable road users, because in a collision, they don't have the protection of a car. They don't have airbags. They don't have seatbelts. So these people do often get more injured and face a higher risk of fatality in an accident. And unfortunately, we have seen this year quite a few vulnerable road users who have lost their lives on our roads. So I think it's a really important theme to really hammer home. And then, of course, we talked about speeding, and we've got kind of a lot of blogs on our website, which you can visit, which is gov.ky/road safety. That's our landing page. We have a list of different resources, blogs, information, and further kind of resources to support drivers on the road and to give them advice and tips about, as we say, kind of planning ahead. Don't letting yourself be distracted on the roads. Don't make aggressive turns, follow the speed limit. And it's all kind of reinforcing this message that, yes, it's really important that the government and the police have a visible presence in, kind of enforcing road laws and catching speeders. But it's also about the community taking the decision to go, look, I know I've got to be somewhere at a hard time of 8:30. Let me leave 10 minutes earlier than I normally would to make sure I'm there, so I'm not speeding. If there's traffic, if there's an accident, if something happens, I forget something at home, we're not in that mad panic of trying to catch up time that we don't have, because that's what leads to accidents. You know, you're distracted, you're focusing on something that it takes your eyes off the road, and in that split second, that's all it takes to cause an accident. So I think it's kind of really important to kind of focus on these themes. We also focus on seatbelt safety, because unfortunately I see a lot of people not using their seatbelts, and it's one of the core safety features in a car that protects you in an accident. And then we also have, as I said, distracted driving, which focuses not just on using your phones, which is one of the most common ones of someone, driving one-handed while using their phone. But we also have something like doing your makeup in the mirror. We see people doing that, or talking to their kids, or they're reaching into a bag to, I don't know, find a charger, or to take a bite of an apple, or something like that, or to take a sip of their water. You might think doing that in front of your face with a water bottle, you lose your ability to see for that split second. And that's all it takes for someone to walk out on the road, or a car to brake suddenly, and then you're in an accident.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, in September, kids return to school. We continue to hear bus wardens, bus drivers, other road users speak to the disregard that motorists have for buses, school buses that are stopped, either picking up or dropping off or children, and putting them at risk as well. I want to talk a little bit about that, because that seems to be, one of the huge concerns that people have, and we can talk about what the campaign will involve in relation to that. And of course, we want to talk about the Pulse survey as well. So, folks, we're talking about the road safety campaign. Don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superheroes shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Hey, new drivers. Don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply, and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about the National Road Safety Campaign taking place in the Cayman Islands, running for a whole 12 months, started in July, started in July of this year and ends in July of 2026. One of our listeners has written and said, "Good morning. I'm happy to hear that we have a road safety committee. I'm wondering why we don't have more road safety education through radio infomercials and starting with educational materials through schools. Person says that in Bermuda, where I worked there, they had it as part of their primary school curriculum. Anyone wants to take that on?
Well, I'll just say, as we mentioned, that's something we are having in the works as well. So we reached out, or I should say, Milo's team reached out to some of the schools on island to gauge interest in terms of having officers come in and speak about road safety. So we have a list of schools that we're looking to have some officers go in and do some talks to. And I think, as you mentioned as well, there's been talk about reintegrating a driver education course into the school system as well. So that's definitely something that's on our radar. And hopefully, other than the individual presentations we'll be doing soon, hopefully we'll see a more systemic approach to that going forward as well in the schools.
And in relation to being on the radio more often, we do have a standing appointment with Radio Cayman every month.
Yes.
And so I do think
today, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yes, on Business Buzz.
Buzz.
And whenever I'm invited, I do attend. And so I don't think that there is particularly a lack of messaging for road safety. I think the issue is listening. Mm-hmm. Yes, people actually doing the things that they're listening to.
Okay. Now, Mr. Dak, you're in communications. So, what other innovative ways that we could try to reach, especially the younger folks? Because we know, for instance, that when you go to get insurance, if you're younger, your insurance rates are going to be much higher. Your premiums are going to be much higher, simply because of, number one, inexperience. Number two, when you look at all of the data, you know that young people are more susceptible to road accidents than anyone else. What other platforms can be used to reach our youngsters?
So, I mean, being in Department of Communications, we are using a wide variety of different ways to reach people. Obviously, we have the official social media platforms, and that is where a lot of the road safety messaging goes out. I believe we do something at least once a week right now.
Okay.
And then we have, as I said, our landing page, and that has blogs and other educational content. We're working on doing videos, in-presentation talks, such as with the police, going into schools, going into communities. That is something that I know does happen, not necessarily organised by core government, but I know a lot of members of parliament, they do their constituency meetings and they quite often invite RCIPS to be involved in those to talk about road safety concerns in districts particularly. And so we're trying to cover everything. You're also working with different community partners, which is the key thing. So in the last few weeks, we've brought on additional community partners. Carrying over from the campaign in last year, we had Flow on board, as well as Cayman Cabana and Thatch and Barrel. And we've just recently added Kamana Bay, as well as CUC, who will be one of the guests joining your next segment on road safety. So they'll be joining National Roads Authority and CUC to talk about their crews and road safety. And then obviously that list is still expanding. We're still working with various different groups, from charities, businesses, restaurants, and all sorts of different groups, including insurance agencies and insurance companies as well, to bring them on board so that road safety becomes a major community focus. Because, as we say, it does matter that we're changing core community focus, and that requires buy-in from across the community.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know we spoke about the fact that we wanted to cover everything, and then if we had time, the last 15 minutes we would dedicate to opening up the phone lines. But we do have a caller, so we're going to indulge that caller and take the call now. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Cornell.
Good morning. Good morning.
Your guest. It would be remiss of me if I didn't call in this morning and give my few cents. I'm being the former chief inspector in charge of traffic management. And also, I must say that I spent some time a few years back at the Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing, and we ran the driver's ed within the schools. And we covered the government schools, Clifton Hunter, and we also covered John Gray. We had two local companies which sponsors vehicles, and government provided the insurance for those vehicles for the Department of Vehicle and Driver Licenses to go into the school and teach the driver's ed. That was part of the curriculum. I don't know what has happened in the last couple of years. We also had Saxon Insurance, which was another partner that gave insurance to the young drivers at a reduced rate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to look back at all these avenues, because people within the community is willing and want to see change, and will work with the authorities in implementing change where driver's education is concerned. Because we got to look at the 3 E's, which are education, engineering, and enforcement. Those are the 3 pillars that are paramount importance. And we do have the resources within the Cayman Islands to address these issues. It's just a matter of us pulling it all together, getting all the necessary agents involved and playing their part. This was an initiative that was driven by Department of Vehicle and Driver's License, and I think I talked to Director Mr. Dixon. He had been more than happy to work with all the various agencies to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sarge, this morning I traveled from Georgetown to North Side. I was in town before 7 o'clock. And I saw what you were talking about, people changing lanes out there around the bus, etc., etc. However, the one thing was missing. I didn't see a police. These are the times in the morning that we need to see police officers at the various junctions, so they can be seen, and it will help, because people are not going to do this nonsense they normally do when police are there. So I just want to implore upon the RCPS to address how many police officers are out there during peak time. Also, if you ask them to utilize the motorcycle officers, it is key. These are the most crucial officers that should be out on the roads in the morning, over motorcycle men. So I just want to, again, give you all kudos for the initiatives, and I wish that we can have a happy and safe Easter, Christmas holidays, Christmas holidays, and just be safe.
Thank you very much, caller. We have about 3 minutes before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Give you an opportunity to respond to the caller. I see Ms. Jody smiling, so she knows exactly who it is.
That's right. I do agree that driving behavior does improve when a police officer is present. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to be very candid and very frank. We do not have the resources to put a police officer out at every roundabout. Mm-hmm. Or even at some roundabouts, because year to date we've already had a 4% increase in collisions on our streets. Wow. So our traffic officers are busy attending to these accidents. We have well over 2,300 accidents so far this year.
Wow.
And so on my way here, what I did see was one traffic officer attending to a collision on East-West Arterial, one heading to West Bay Road, and one at another collision in Smith Road this morning.
Wow.
So those are where, when you don't see our officers trying to assist with traffic, it is because they are attending to the collisions that are taking place, because drivers are not driving with integrity.
Well, maybe this listeners, what this listener has to say, and the ideas here may be helpful. The person says, morning, I think there needs to be a revamping of our driving and written tests to incorporate some of the things that are most abused, examples of how to overtake when a cyclist is on the road, or what to do when a school bus is picking up or dropping off, what gear that cyclists using motorized bikes and scooters should be using. And they go on to say there should be mandatory driver's education before getting a license as well. Give you some time to think about that as well. We're going to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, the folks in the studio with us will be here until 9:15, and then we will have another cohort in as well. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. The conversation about the National Road Safety Campaign in the Cayman Islands will continue when we return.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Finance Committee is meeting this morning. Lawmakers discussed budget allocations for the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development on Friday before wrapping up just before 6 o'clock. They're set to resume budget talks this morning at 9:30 a.m. Make sure to tune into our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, to hear the proceedings live. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump has urged lawmakers in his own party to vote to release files relating to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Trump wrote on Sunday night that Republicans in the House of Representatives should do so, quote, because we have nothing to hide. The reversal of his recent position follows a slow drip feed of documents concerning the disgraced financier by House Democrats, some of which reference Trump, who has always denied any link to Epstein's sex abuse and trafficking. But details of his and other prominent figures' past relationships with Epstein have fueled speculation and led to a public spat with some of Trump's staunchest supporters. And Bangladesh's former prime minister has been sentenced to death for crimes against humanity over her crackdown on student-led protests, which led to her ousting. Sheikh Hasina was found guilty of allowing lethal force to be used against protesters, 1,400 of whom died during the unrest last year. Hasina was tried in absentia by the International Crimes Tribunal in Bangladesh, having been exiled in India since she was forced from power in July 2024. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's orthopedic clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's orthopedic clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last segment, or the last portion of this segment, on Unfortunately, we won't be able to take any more calls because we do have two topics that we want to talk about. There's a survey being conducted called Pulse Survey. We're going to talk, about that, and we'll get Mr. Dak to kick that off and tell us what else we will be talking about before we close off this segment.
Yeah, so we want to talk quickly about the Pulse survey that we ran that ran through to the end of September. So that finished, and we've now analysed those results. And we also want to talk a little bit as well about the docuseries that we're producing with the emergency services.
Okay.
So just to kind of go back to the Pulse survey, we in the Department of Communications, we're running two Pulse surveys. One that we've already done now, one that will take place in, I believe it's February, March time. That's basically another kind of pulse check of how the campaign's been performing. And so we ran one that concluded in September, and that had 980 responses. And that was primarily driven by the RCIPS and the Department of Education Services, who pushed out to schools and to the community. And in that, we had some kind of statistics that stood out to us, which was 3 out of 4 people said that speeding on our roads stood out to them. And I think that kind of goes back to what our guest caller spoke about, as well as what PS Jodianne also spoke about. We also saw that 55% of people said they're taking actions to be safer on our roads. So they're deliberately slowing down. They're making sure their phones are away. They're not drinking or being distracted. They're not drinking and driving, etc. They're being responsible. 29% of people reported staying to the speed limit, which isn't great. We do need to do more, and I think that kind of goes back to what the caller was speaking about having more police. I think, yes, it's important that police are out there because people see police, they slow down because they don't want a speeding ticket, but I think we have to go further than that, and it's kind of reinforcing this idea that people don't speed, full stop, not because they don't want to get caught, because speeding is wrong, and speeding increases the risk on the roads, it increases your risk getting in an accident, into hitting someone or hitting something. So I think that's kind of all about kind of reinforcing that community mindset that speeding needs to be curbed, and it starts with you getting in your car every morning and deciding I'm not going to speed. And then kind of the last kind of main thing that I wanted to kind of bring up today is that working with both the RCIPS, the Health Services Authority, the Cayman Islands Fire Service, and the Department of Public Safety Communications, the Department of Communications has created a docuseries which we've called After the Impact. And just to speak on it very briefly, it's a series of 5 short videos featuring first responders talking about their experiences of road safety, the accidents that they've attended to, and what stayed with them over their careers. And I'll let Mikhail speak more because the police were an integral part of that campaign, or that part of the campaign.
Yeah, so we had, I think as part of the campaign, as we mentioned, we're working closely with the National Road Safety Campaign, and Milo and his team. So we had 2 of our officers do segments for that docu-series. Basically, if I can talk about the format of it, it's one-on-one or to-camera interview with the first responders. So they are telling a story of a major collision, either with major injuries or fatality that stood out to them, and their personal experience kind of from their perspective of what they saw, what they heard, what they smelled, everything else when they would have either responded to the scene initially or would have had to deal with the aftermath. So one of our officers is a traffic officer, a young Caymanian man who responded to a collision, and he describes what he saw, kind of the aftermath of that. And then we also have one of our family liaison officers who works with traffic incidents. So she deals with the families. She's a liaison between the police and the families affected when there's a fatality. So she spoke about her experience in one of those collisions, and not just the immediate aftermath, but also dealing with the family after the fact, because these things have an impact that carries on, not just in the moment or in the days following, but for years and years afterwards. Obviously, if you lose a family member, that ripples through not just the family, but through the community. So I think the format that they chose is very impactful because you're hearing the story from them, you're putting yourself in their shoes, you're seeing the emotion on their face. So we hope that it resonates with the community and just provides further incentive for people to take these things seriously. And maybe, when they do the follow-up survey after this docuseries has has been seen by the public, they might have some different results. People might want to take more action. That's the hope behind it.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Zach, sorry to interrupt you there, but we have a question that came in from someone. So they said, so you have the results now of the Pulse survey. What do you plan on doing with those results?
So we're using that information to target in our campaign themes what we need to do more of and what we need to focus on. So that's when we're going into community meetings or school talks, etc. It's helping the RCIPS guide their talking points of what they need to focus on when it comes to young drivers, because a large number of respondents were parents and teachers and students. So it's about what they experience, and it's about kind of focusing on, for example, one of the themes that we did mention was back to school safety. So it's about looking at how we can really turn that into not just September, which is when the schools return for the year, but after half term, after Christmas, after Easter. Every time we have a large influx of students back on the roads, going back to schools, etc. It's about targeting this campaign to really focus on road safety and other areas, as you say. So, we're sharing this data with the RCIPS. So when we have people saying speeding is a concern to them, we're passing that on to Jodianne and Mikhail, and then they're using that data to go, okay, so let's go and look at the speed traps. Let's look at DUIs, for example. Let's go and do more patrols around areas where they're more high risk, etc. That's kind of what we're looking at doing. So the data is being used to shape the campaign, to adjust the strategy, to amplify certain messaging, key messaging, etc.
Okay, and you were going to say something else before I interrupted you there, sorry.
Yeah, so kind of going back to the docuseries, it's about kind of, I think, taking the campaign, moving from just kind of graphics and general messaging to kind of deeper storytelling, because I think that's kind of what resonates with people, is knowing that it's not just a fancy graphic on the screen, but actually these stories are community-based and community-driven, because everyone knows everyone. As Mikhail said, it's not just one family that's impacted when there's a fatality, it's the entire community. We saw how communities have rallied together, and I think that's kind of really important that we're driving home that it's not just, it won't happen to me. I think that's what I hear a lot of, is that, I'm not going to get caught, or I'm not going to get into an accident, and it's not going to be me. But actually, there's a high chance it will be. There's a high chance that these accidents do impact you. And sooner or later, the unfortunate reality is that you're going to either see an accident, or be in an accident, or pass by an accident. As Jodianne said, she's already kind of passed, how many this morning was it?
About 3, yeah.
3 this morning, and we're not even at, well, we just passed 9 o'clock, so we've got a whole day left. And I think that's kind of reinforcing the idea that road safety needs to be tackled at every level, and I think that it's bringing it home to the people to really show that it's actually a community-driven responsibility, it's a community impact. So by bringing it home, doing the storytelling, I think that's a really kind of key part to showing that it's a Cayman problem and not just a not my problem.
Okay, we want to go around the table for some closing comments before 9:15. Starting with you, Ms. Jodianne.
Well, I think that one of the things that we didn't get to discuss a little bit in detail, and I know that I'll be back to Radio Cayman to discuss it, but just to highlight the festive season and the things that we're going to be doing coming up. We'll be working closely with the Arrive Alive 345 campaign that is led by National Drunk Council and Compass Media. And we'll also be having our annual Operation Winter Guardian, which encompasses road safety as one of its priority, but also community safety as well. So those are things that we can look out for in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
I would say just continue to look out. You'll be seeing more campaign material from us, more posts. We'll be working with different other accounts across social media to get these messages out to the public, to push them out. So that will be around the Arrive Alive 345, Winter Guardian. And also throughout the year, we always, as road safety is one of our primary focuses, so we always have efforts focused on that. I'd say follow our pages, RCIPS. Just look for RCIPS on any channel. On Instagram, it's RCIPS_Cayman, and our website, rcips.ky.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that, obviously, as we head into the festive season, it's important that we take time to reflect and be with family, etc. But it's also important that we are with family and we don't get into an accident that might make that impossible. It's about being safe on the roads. I know there's more holiday parties, there's more Christmas parties. People will be being more festive. They might go for a few more drinks than they might normally have to kind of celebrate end of the year. And it's about just making that responsible decision. Don't drink and drive. Call a friend, designate a driver, call a taxi, whatever it might be. And, people kind of get more tired, so don't drive fatigued. I know, like, when I started in the summer, it was bright and early. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Now when I leave for work, it's still dark. People not using their headlights though. People are out running still. You know, it's getting a bit cooler now, so it's just about kind of being careful on the roads as you kind of reach that end of year time. Just kind of be more considerate, be more careful, be more patient, and just be safe. Be smart on the roads. And then, if you want more resources, you can always visit the landing page, which is gov.ky/road safety. We've got lots of dedicated information, more general blogs. We'll be doing a lot of holiday messaging in the coming weeks as well. So, yeah.
Okay. We want to thank our first guests on this segment. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will have representatives from CUC as well as the National Roads Authority. Don't change that dial. The conversation about the National Road Safety Campaign in the Cayman Islands will continue after this short commercial break.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to continue our discussion on the National Road Safety Campaign, and I'm going to have my guests around the table introduce themselves to our listening and viewing audience. We're going to start on my right here with the young lady on my right. Go right ahead.
I'm Jerica Hurlston. I work with the National Roads Authority.
Pull that mic a little closer to you there and talk right into it. Yes.
I am Jerica Hurlston, and I work with the National Roads Authority of the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
Morning, I'm Joni Kirkconnell, and I'm the Director for HR and Corporate Services at CUC.
Okay.
Good morning. I am Corey Nems. I am the Health, Safety, and Environmental Officer for the National Roads Authority.
My name is Marion Pendui. I also work for the National Roads Authority as a transportation planner.
Okay, and Ms. Marion, we're going to have you kick things off as well.
Okay.
Okay. So, first question that we have here is talking about why are work crews classified as vulnerable road users? We see and we know in other jurisdictions, when you see that sign, especially on the roads and on the highway, men at work, you slow down, because if you don't, more than likely, you're going to be ticketed, for that. Why is it that so important?
Well, our work crews they're actually out on the road. You're driving on that road. Like other vulnerable road users, they do have the same protections as other road users and collisions. They'll have the helmets, reflective gear, but that only goes so far. We need to be wary of these work zones, follow the speed limits, follow the signs. And like other zones, they are also more exposed to the hazards on the roads as they're working in already a dangerous condition next to the traffic.
Okay, Ms. Joni, from CUC's standpoint as well, and we know your guys are out there always extremely busy as well.
That's right. So our teams are, like Marion said, they're very vulnerable because all of our assets, well, half of our assets, as you know, our poles and our lines, are on the roadways. We're often the first to be contacted and on the scene if there is an emergency that involves one of our assets, like if someone has hit a pole or there's a down power line. So you have that aspect of it where you have the electrical component, and then you also have the traffic, which is quite interesting because even though we work with high voltage, when our guys do their hazard assessment, their number one hazard is traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And while there can be frustrations from drivers in terms of the fact that people are out there working, and in most instances, your crews will have someone there directing the traffic as well with their signs, when to go, when to stop. Of course, they have no enforcement authority as well. But I find from in terms of my thinking, when I see that happening, I am more inclined to obey the instructions that are being given by those persons who really don't have any legal authority per se, but we know that they're directing us, from a safety standpoint.
Yes, it's a good question. So, as NRA, we exposed to the daily risk that's associated with speeding, person not complying with our safety warning signs, like speed limit, lane merger. So it is important that people comply, because what happens is that we know that probably there are moving equipments that are very dangerous. We have like the excavators, the graders, and these equipment has very large blind spots. And when motorists decided not to comply with our flaggers, it can result into two things. It can either result into a major accident by the motorist, or it can result in a major accident by our employers. employees, sorry. So we just ask the public that once you see we put out our warning signs, our notice, just try to be compliant with our regulation, because what can happen is that if you're in non-compliance with these signs, warning, safety zone, it can be very catastrophic. So.
Okay, Ms. Hurston, let's get you into the conversation. Anything that you want to add to, to that as well? I'm made to understand that we're experiencing some difficulty with your mic, so we're going to ask you and Ms. Jody to share that mic. Sorry for the inconvenience.
That is okay. Just picking up from what Corey said, it's important that everybody pay attention to the work zones that we have on the road. The signs are there, flaggers are there. No, pay attention, because you can save a life. It makes no sense to speed on the road when you know that there are workers on the road. So just drive safe.
Are there, Ms. Marion, are there any laws that protect these vulnerable workers on our roads?
No, I think like in other jurisdictions, say for the U.S., where you would get speeding fines doubled if you're doing higher in a construction zone, doesn't necessarily apply here, but all the other legislation regarding road safety does, so that if there is a police car, because we've had police cars try and curb the speeding through our work zone, but again, that becomes very difficult because we only have so many police. We have at CUC taken on a third party to do our traffic management.
Okay.
Because that gives that party, that's their only job, is to look out for traffic and to ensure that our staff are safe, whereas our staff then can concentrate on doing the work. But we've had all sorts of issues with just persons being very impatient. I remember one time we had all of the cones up, all of the signs up, letting people know that there was road work ahead. And a tractor trailer actually drove through one of our work sites, and one of our employees had to jump to the side. So again, just reminding people, Cayman's such a small community, and one of the things at CUC, we're 82% Caymanian, so more than likely you'll know somebody there. Just remember that these are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunties, cousins, friends, and they're doing this work for the betterment of the community, just like NRA. These individuals are on the roadway to make Cayman a better place. So just do your part, slow down, abide by signs, and take it easy.
Now, in this area of enhanced communication, there's so many platforms that you can communicate with people on, and we see it quite often, Water Authority, CUC, NRA, advising people certain works are going to be done at certain times, certain dates, certain times of the day as well. How important is getting that message out to road users so they know either if it is possible for them to avoid that area, or if they're in that area, then they need to exercise caution?
Well, that's very important, and we do try to endeavor to get all of the press releases out in a reasonable time frame. Sometimes it's not possible if there's an emergency, etc. But most times the works are, we do try to get the press release out at least 24 hours ahead of time to let people know if we're doing something. Like this evening, we have some works going on in town, Main Street. Some drilling works going on in town. There, we got a press release out right there. And we also have some paving works going on this week as well. I can't remember exactly. Four-way stop by Centennial Towers. There'll be some works going on there, but press releases will be going out on that those as well. We are endeavoring to try to get them out sooner and more often in terms of the work. So if a longer project starts, we're endeavoring to get a press release out to say we're starting, and then as the work progresses, what we're doing. If it affects traffic in a major way, if there's going to be any delays, etc., we should get another press release out along the way, and then another one at the end. But it's just not going out on the paper, etc. We have our Facebook, Instagram, and we are endeavoring to do other inform people in other ways through various media houses, etc.
And Ms. Jody, we know that CUC on many occasions works hand in hand with the National Roads Authority, especially when there are major road works taking place where you have to realign the electrical lines and things of that nature.
Definitely. So we do work closely with NRA because we understand that when roads are closed, it is a major inconvenience. But like Marion said, we do try and let the public know ahead of time so that they can plan accordingly, may take alternate routes or give a little bit more time. And I think I would encourage everyone going into this holiday season. Roadworks are still going to be going, because everybody wants a quicker way to get there. They all want secure electricity. So these are all ongoing works. So as the holiday seasons approach us, just give yourself a lot more time because there's going to be additional traffic and more than likely there are going to be some road works ahead.
Yes. Now, what do we say to those cynics who would say that, why don't you do your work when there's less traffic on the roads, on holidays, as well? But your employees, they're workers as well. They deserve a holiday. What do we say to those persons?
In actuality, the works that are being done in town are being done at night.
Okay.
But it is also sometimes some of the works are difficult to do at night. Depends on the scope of it. Like I know you can't move a pole at night. That's just not going to happen. And some of the works we do can also be at night. Well drilling sometimes can't be done at night. Depends on the location and what we're dealing with, the homes, et cetera. Like we're not going to go into some outside street and disturb the neighbors' residents to do work at night. But the works in town, since town is more or less closed down, we do try to do those works in the evening time. So we endeavor when we can. Yes, works are done at night when we can.
Okay, Ms. Jody, anything?
Yeah, so like Marion said, we will try and be as accommodating as possible. Sometimes we have no choice, if there was an incident involving one of our assets, we have to go out whenever that is, whatever the weather is as well. But yes, we actually have real people that work with us and they have families as well, And our employees are our biggest asset and we try to keep them as happy as possible. So we do try to structure work around normal work times, but with the thought that we don't want to disrupt road users as often as possible. So we want to keep that to a minimum.
Okay. Ms. Susan, I need to come to you for a 9:30 break. Okay. Folks, we're talking about the road safety campaign taking place in the Cayman Islands, as you heard from our earlier guests. Started in July of last year, runs until July of this year as well. We're going to be talking more about this. In the studio, we have Ms. Jerica Hurlston, who's a planning analyst, and Mr. Corey Nelms, who is the safety officer at the National Roads Authority. Also from the National Roads Authority, we have Ms. Marian Pandoi, and from CUC, Ms. Jody Cockernell. Sorry, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about the National Road Safety Campaign taking place in the Cayman Islands. One of our listeners has sent something, and I'm going to try to paraphrase it because it's pretty long, but they talk about giving road users sufficient notice when a lane, an upcoming lane or a lane ahead is closed. They say that many times when you see a sign, the workers are already there and the drivers do not have enough time to change their lanes. And then they gave an example of, something taking place with a large vehicle in front of them, and there was actually a company vehicle there as opposed to any other warning signs as well. So their argument is that maybe further down the road, that notice needs to be given as well. And we could also talk at the same time about that. We see nowadays, and the NRA certainly continues to use this, is the neon signs that talk about road lanes being closed or road construction taking place as well. Mr. Nelms, I think you wanted to speak to that.
All right, so I know the concern, and we at NRA, we are doing a lot of training for our workers in terms of, so we have the Red Book as a guideline that we use for all of our workers. So when they go on the job site, and myself as a safety officers, I will go from time to time to visit the site and also to give recommendation on the best way we can improve the work safety. Mm-hmm. So I know I did not only NRA alone use the road. We have other subcontractors, we have other statutory workers, but we are doing a lot of training with our guys. I emphasize a lot when it comes to give advance notice, and also I emphasize a lot in terms of setting up the proper work zone signs. So it's going to take some time. We are actually in the planning stage of getting all of our subcontractors who work for NRA. So we have like some more contractors who probably not know how to set up a proper work zone. So we were in discussion last week with management that we're going to get all the guys out, hopefully by next week, so we can do like an all-day training on how to set up work zone, where to put the signage, just to ensure that the road is safe for both the motorists and our subcontractors. Mm-hmm. So I do get your point, and we are working tirelessly just ensure that everyone is on board and every person know the proper way how to set out a proper work zone.
Okay, anyone want to add to that?
Yeah, I'd just like to encourage the public as well. We're all human. And sometimes when if there's an emergency situation that comes up and we have to close down the road, it may not be by the Red Book. Yeah. But I would encourage the public that if they do see something like that, you know, just notify the specific authority or the company so that bring it to their attention, bring it to our attention. We're always willing to learn, you know, bring it to our attention where we can improve. And then we can speak to our crews. We do worksite observations as well. And then it's always a learning opportunity. So definitely reach out to us and let us know where we can improve.
Okay. And Ms. Jody, while you still have the mic, your company, CUC, has decided to come on as a community partner in the National Road Safety Campaign. Tell us why.
Well, as I mentioned before, our employees are on the roads. And traffic is our number one hazard for our power line technicians. Not high voltage, not machinery, but traffic. And traffic is such that We can do everything in our power. We can wear our hard hats. We can wear our vests. We can put up safety cones, but we're really at the mercy of the drivers. So partnering with the NRA, it was the no-brainer. We need to ensure that our staff are protected, and also the drivers, cyclists, pedestrians, because we do recognize that once a road is closed, it throws a monkey wrench into most people's kind of their normal commute, and they have to think on the fly often. So we just wanted to make sure that we were there to support the initiative and also to support our staff and the public, just to empower them with knowing the things that they can do to be better drivers.
From the NRA standpoint, can we talk about new roads, new designs, and the challenges in terms of getting persons, accustomed to it?
Oh, okay.
We continue to hear more older drivers on our roads now saying that they avoid the road simply because they're confused and they don't want to be out there, with the challenges and everything.
Yeah, I've heard that. Specifically, I have my in-laws. I've heard that from them. They won't leave. They don't want to go past. Where is it? Countryside. They don't want to go past there because of all the roundabouts and things have changed, etc.
And even there's going to change soon.
Even there's going to change in a moment. We're doing some road works in that location to make it a bit easier and smoother for drivers in that location. It is a challenge, and unfortunately, based on the changes that have occurred on island, increased development, increased population, demographics have changed. That the roads have to change as well. We have an increase in traffic, and we have to accommodate that, as well as hopefully in the future working with the buses, et cetera, to also accommodate those within the road system. But it is a challenge. Things change. Like at Hearst Road, we're having some growing pains with the little roundabout at that junction there. But unfortunately, it does take time. And we do the best we can to let people know when changes are going to occur. But yes, you do get into you have a certain way to go when you go to work. You go this way, that way. And then suddenly, there's a different road or there's a roundabout suddenly or a signal, something like that. You just have to pay attention. We will try to keep you informed as to the best we can as to any of the changes. We do put things out on our we do have a project page on our website to take a look at with various projects in the future. We also obviously try to keep everything updated on our Facebook page, Instagram, all that stuff. Doing these type of things to try to just let people know with the various roadworks that will be occurring. And you can see them out on the road. The biggest one occurring right now by King's King's Roundabout. The CUC Roundabout. Let me get that right. My bad. I have to get the naming of it right. It's CUC Roundabout because I do sponsor that particular roundabout.
And we don't want them to withdraw that if they're not recognized.
I'm going to keep that in hand. But there's a lot of changes going on there. But it's just because of the increase in population demographics and development that the roads do have to go with those changes. And I know older drivers do have some concerns as to what is occurring, but we do have to keep up with the times, I guess.
Yeah. Would you give any advice in terms of, if you feel that you're going to be confused, maybe you should go out there and try those roads out when there's less traffic on the road, maybe at night or on a holiday when there's less traffic.
Maybe not at night, maybe on a Sunday.
Well, I'm not sure about Sundays these days. I remember when I used to ride from all the way from East End to Savannah and not cross a vehicle on the road coming down on a Sunday. And now it's like any other day of the week. But just to familiarize themselves that they maybe they should.
And if they have concerns in regards to some changes, they can also give us a call, and we're happy to sit down with anybody in terms of road changes, et cetera. Or if they want to talk about how to use a roundabout. I don't want to talk about that here, but I am happy to sit with somebody, and if they want to figure out how those particular junctions work. So I know there are some concerns as to how roundabouts do function.
Okay, so folks, while we do have the eyes and some of the eyes and some of the ears of the Cayman people right here on For the Record this morning. We would like them to hear some of the concerns that your workers have on our roads, and as far as drivers are concerned, so that those that are listening at least can take that into account whenever they're on our roads, as well. Okay. Let's start with you, Ms. Jerica. We got to keep you in the conversation.
I'm okay to stay out. But I sit in with Corey when he meets with our guys, when he's doing his toolbox safety meetings, and a lot of them want the public to respect that
bring
they're
that
actually
mic a little closer
on
to
the
you.
road, because they're on the road, they have the cones out, the signs are out, pay attention, because one wrong move, it's their life. It's an accident on your part, but you know what? Pay attention. There's no reason why we should be speeding everywhere we go. Abide by the speed limit, And work zones is at 25 miles per hour. So there's no way that somebody should be driving on LPH at 40 miles per hour when the work zone sign that says 25. So
that's being generous at 25. I think it should be slower than that, really.
Yeah, it is. So, let's all be safe.
Corey?
All right, so whenever I have my meeting with my guys, the biggest backlash that I always face is that they are telling me that, Corey, you are always telling us what to do. We, as what Jerica said, we go on the road, we set up proper work zone, we put advance notices, but yet still we are not doing nothing with the public, try to protect them. So they always say that, well, Corey, you should get a police to be on the job site from time to time just to show our presence. At least it will force motorists to slow down. But I always tell them, listen, I work closer with Marianne. We try to do a lot of campaign in terms of put out ads. We also did a quick video about, a worker, he has his family as well. He left his house in the morning, come on the job site, try to work, put his life at risk just to make a convenient road for you and for all Caymanian. And, we put our self at risk. We go out there and then you guys are speeding to the job site. You guys not complying with whatever we put out, like, warning signs, cones, barriers. Because we also had an accident like 2 years ago, which our guys was working on the median and then a motorist was speeding and they lost control and they ran over two guys. And, it was very heartbroken, and we did everything that we can do in our power. As I said, we bash the guys every day with a toolbox meeting. We keep on complaining about, guys, put a proper work zone, guys, put a proper signage. But yesterday we do all that, but yesterday the public is not conforming.
Yes,
And these guys have to go back home to their family because, as you guys said, Cayman is a very small community. And everyone is like family here. So when you drive reckless, you probably run over one of your fellow colleague, probably a neighbor, and then you have to live with the fact that because of my reckless driving, I probably injured or probably killed one of my neighbors. So it is very important that you guys try to conform with our signs, try to protect each other, because we're putting our life at risk, And you guys, as you said, you guys have your cars. If you guys have a collision, you have your car, your seat belt, your airbags to protect you. But our guys has nothing to protect them.
And I noticed that you're wearing your high visibility vest this morning. So tell us how important that is as well for your crew to ensure that they're as visible as possible. Not that will help in if someone chooses not to disregard all of the other safety measures that you have put in place.
So the IVIS is super important for us because sometimes I will stand up in the morning just to ensure that when our guys driving out the compound, I ensure that each person has their safety gears, because being on the road, sometimes person tend to cross the road, try to set up cones, install the signs before the work zone is created, and then you have motorists, they're still speeding, and you want to be at least visible to the speeding motorists so they can, hey, slow down. We're in the process of setting up a work zone, so you don't have to be speeding. But it is very important because IVs, it protects our workers.
Mm-hmm. Miss Jody, what do you hear from your guys on the road? Some of the things that they would like to see drivers do more of.
So our top three would be just slow down near work zones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Corey said, you have the benefit of being in a vehicle, a big hard shell. Think of a soldier crab outside of its shell. That's our workers, and you have your protective shell. Give space to crews and equipment, especially if it is a single lane road or where space is minimum. So, and then follow the signage and flagger instructions without hesitation. We've had individuals who are arguing with persons giving them instructions on where to go. The person isn't there to make your life difficult. So just don't take it personally that I closed your road. This is for a specific requirement, so just follow along. And again, just remember too that these are people. These are actual people. So if you should strike or hit or injure them, it's not just a one and done. They have lives that they have to carry on. They have families, they have friends, and they have people that love them.
One of our listeners put out an idea here, and they're saying that maybe some sort of signage at the beginning of a construction zone or a work zone that says, thank you for being cautious, or thank you, for caring for our workers, whether or not you use those type of signs. And if not, do you believe that may help in terms of, person's demeanor?
Okay. So we try to do our signs according to the regulation. Mm-hmm. And those signs is not within our job site regulation, but if we have to adapt to best practice, it's something we can look into. But we at NRA, we try to ensure that whatever we put up, it is in conformity with our regulation. So again, it's something we can look into. I will speak to the director and also Marianne and see if we can try to do some best practices.
Yeah, I get what the listener is implying. Once you can kind of humanize it, that it's not thou shalt stop. But thanks for your consideration and your cooperation. So it's definitely another approach that we would be open to.
Now, Ms. Marian, I know that this is not your favorite topic, and we really didn't come here to discuss it, but I'll just mention it, and we can put it in the form of the four-way junctions versus roundabouts. This person says they would like to ask if the Hearst Road mini roundabout would be more functional as a four-way intersection with some traffic lights. And they say, I know people take time to get used to new layouts, but it just seemed to be very confusing to a lot of drivers when I have observed on my ventures in that area. And I think we should point out that that's only temporary as well.
That junction is temporary. It is a small roundabout this time, and it functions as a roundabout. So giveaway to your right is the main one. You need to, because I almost hit somebody this morning because she didn't pause, and I was on her right. So she got my horn. But yes, but I want to point out that is a temporary junction at this time. It's when we continue works and when there will be a larger roundabout at that particular location. So that we had to put a small roundabout in that location to open up the extension. So that is temporary. It does function as a roundabout. Please use it as so. Follow the rules of a roundabout. Give way to your right. Well, who's ever on there goes first. Please follow that. But I do take their point. It is a bit confusing. It does take time to conform to it. But I just also really just want to point out it's temporary. That's a temporary junction at this time.
One of the points that I keep seeing repeated on the messages that we're receiving from our listeners and our viewers has to do with the advance notice of lane closures.
Yeah.
That seems to be resounding throughout the number of WhatsApp messages that we're getting as well. Do we want to comment any further on that? Do you think that that needs to be improved in some way, Ms. Joni?
Yeah, I mean, as much notice as we can give drivers that there is a change, the better it is for everybody. We just have NRA and CUC in the room today, but there are a lot of road users that unfortunately may not know the proper distances to advised persons, like the Red Book stipulates. So like NRA mentioned, they are in the process of educating the public. I know they've done so in the past, giving courses on proper setup. So again, if you see something, please contact that company, that authority, utility, so that they can learn from it, and not just, complain to the driver in the seat next to you why they wouldn't let me know sooner than later. But yeah, reach out to them because they may just not know.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's possible.
That's correct because NRA, we are partnering with our subcontractors, as I recently spoke about. And hopefully by 2 weeks' time, we should see a major improvement because once we start the training, we will equip the guys with the book, first and foremost, the Red Book. And we will do some physical as also practical training so that person are hands-on on how to create a proper work zone. And also we will monitor, evaluate, and if we believe that further training might be required, we will try to improve on that as well.
Now, I keep hearing mention of this Red Book. Is that something that is publicly available, or that's just for the practitioners?
All right, so it is it is not by law.
Okay.
It is our best practice that we adopt.
Great.
It's from New Zealand, and it has the same regulation as Cayman Island. So it is a best practice, like some people use the OSHA. We use a Red Book as a way of creating work zone, and so that everybody can be at the same page.
Okay, we have about 5 minutes left. I want to give everyone an opportunity for some closing comments as well. We're going to start with Ms. Jerica, then we're going to go over to Corey, and then we're going to have Ms. Judy, and then we'll give Ms. Pandui let her have the last word.
So everything will be said by the time it get to me.
Well, I would like to thank you for inviting us onto today's show because road safety is very important to us at the NRA, and it is a community effort. So if we can all follow the rules, follow the signs, drive safely, we can all make Cayman a better place.
And, from the NRA standpoint, you're making the road safe for in more ways than one as well, because the way that you design and the way that you construct them is to make them, safer for. So the least that they can do is reciprocate.
Yeah, that's true. Traffic is always a complaint for people commuting from the eastern districts, and we're working together to try to widen the roads in order to get a nice flow of traffic. So it's only respectful that they respect the workers who are actually on the road, Let's stay safe.
Okay, Corey?
Well, my final word is that our workers who work at the road, they have family. They leave their house early in the morning to come to work as early as possible, to go out there, to construct a work for you, to construct a road for you so you can have a safe road, a convenient road so you can leave from West Bay or from East End to Georgetown in a safe and fast manner. But during the construction, it takes time. And yes, I know it could be frustrated when person have to set up work zone. But again, just try to conform. It's only short term. It's not forever. Once the work is completed, you will see a very nice road. So just conform with it. Be in compliance with our signs, our cones, our guys out there working. Just follow the rules. If we put up stop and go, just respect it. Because at the end of the day, it's not only for us, but also for you as a road user.
Okay. And Ms. Joni, before you start your closing comments, again, I just want to compliment your company, CUC, for, again, stepping up to the plate. And you've sent, crews over to Jamaica to assist, in their recovery as well. And I want to say thank you, again to your company for doing that as well.
Thank you so much. And this is just who CC is. With regard to the crews that are over there, again, road hazards are going to be similar to them, and they've been trained to do their job safety planning to make sure that they accommodate for the hazards of the work there, including traffic. But I'd like to just leave the public with our top 3 requests, and they're pretty simple, Slow down, please slow down.
Yes.
Especially near work zones. Have a little bit more patience. If it means turning the radio off, because I know sometimes if you're listening to like a high beat song, it's like, I need to get there, I need to get there, I need to get there. Put on some country or something. But really try and slow down. And when drivers go in to the season, when they get on the roads, just put on that air of patience and air of caution. Give space to our crews and equipment. We are out there, just like NRA, doing the country a service, trying to make sure that you have safe and reliable electrical systems, and follow signage and the flagger instructions without hesitation. These people are not out there to make your life miserable. They're out there as a request of our company to keep our employees safe and to keep drivers safe as well as we make changes to the roadways.
Thank you. Ms. Marion.
Well, everything's mostly been said, but I would just go with what Jody has said in terms of the top 3. We are just out there to try to make the roads better and safer for everyone. And also remember, it's temporary. They will be out of there, and we'll have the road back. So we're temporarily there to help improve your drive and improve the safety along that stretch of road. So just remember that. We're not going to be there forever. So just slow down. Please slow down. That's the biggest one. Slow down and give people space to do their job, because that's what they're doing. They're just doing their job to help out.
Okay, so I want to thank all of you for being here this morning, and thanks for all that your respective organizations do to keep the road users of the Cayman Islands safe as well. But they have to remember that they have to do their part, as well, because without that partnership, then, we all then become susceptible and vulnerable, on our roads as well. So, folks, I want to thank all of you who are listening this morning, those of you who sent in your comments as well as your questions. I need to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we should extend a helping hand to them. Again, we remember the people of Jamaica in their time of need as well. So we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. Have a great day. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman.